The Mustang Dark Horse doesn't just roll into the room. It kicks the damn door off the hinges and dares everyone else to keep up. From the very first glance, you already know this isn't some warmed-over, trim package with fancy badges slapped on for marketing hype. This thing feels like Ford engineers finally said, "All right, let's build the Mustang we actually want to drive," and then turned the volume knob all the way to 11. The Dark Horse hits that sweet spot between raw street brawler and track-ready weapon. And it does it with a kind of swagger that feels unapologetically American. This is muscle car energy for a new era, where power, precision, and attitude all collide at full throttle. What makes the Dark Horse instantly different is the vibe it throws off before you even fire it up. It looks mean without trying too hard, like it knows exactly what it is. The wider stance, the aggressive front fascia, the darker trim accents, and that unmistakable galloping horse badge, done in sinister style, all scream performance without screaming for attention. This isn't a cartoonish overdesign. It's controlled aggression, the kind of design that looks just as nasty parked at a Cars and Coffee as it does screaming down a back road at midnight. Ford nailed the balance between modern tech and old-school muscle attitude, and that's not easy to pull off in today's overstyled car world. And then you twist the key or hit the start button and everything changes. The 5.0-liter Coyote V8 in the Dark Horse isn't just louder or stronger, it's angrier. Ford reworked the internals, beefed up critical components, and tuned it to rev harder and breathe better. The result is a naturally aspirated V8 that feels alive in your hands and under your right foot. This isn't turbocharged numbness or artificial sound piped through speakers. It's like having two personalities in one body, and both of them are fun as hell. The interior backs up the performance story without going full race car cosplay. You get supportive seats that hold you in place when you're pushing hard, but they're still comfortable enough for long drives. The digital cluster and infotainment system look modern and customizable, without feeling gimmicky. Everything feels purpose-built, from the steering wheel to the pedal placement. Ford clearly paid attention to how drivers actually interact with the car instead of just throwing screens everywhere. It's driver-focused, clean, and functional, which fits the Dark Horse's no BS attitude perfectly. One of the biggest flexes of the Mustang Dark Horse is how it respects its roots while still moving forward. This car understands the legacy of the Mustang nameplate and doesn't try to reinvent it into something it's not. It's still loud rear-wheel drive and powered by a big NAV8, and that matters more than ever in a world obsessed with downsizing and electrification. At the same time, it embraces modern tech where it actually makes sense, like advanced traction control systems, performance data tracking, and customizable driving modes that genuinely enhance the experience instead of dulling it on the track. The Dark Horse proves it's not just talk. This thing was built to take abuse and ask for seconds. The upgraded cooling systems, stronger drivetrain components, and track-ready tuning mean you can push it hard lap after lap without it falling apart or going into limp mode. It feels stable under heavy braking, confident through high-speed corners, and explosive on corner exit. You don't need to be a pro driver to feel the difference either. The car communicates what it's doing in a way that builds trust, which is huge when you're learning your limits. What really hits home is how the Dark Horse stacks up against its competition. In a segment filled with monsters like Hellcats, Camaros, and high-performance imports, this Mustang doesn't feel like it's chasing anyone. It feels like it's doing its own thing, carving out a lane that's equal parts street credibility and track performance. It's not just about raw numbers or dyno bragging rights. It's about how the car makes you feel when you're behind the wheel. And the Dark Horse delivers that emotional punch in a big way. There's also something refreshing about the Dark Horse's confidence. It doesn't need crazy wings, over-the-top graphics, or gimmicks to prove a point. It knows its power and it wears it with quiet menace. That kind of restraint actually makes it more intimidating. It's the muscle car, equivalent of a fighter who doesn't talk trash, because they don't have to. When you see one rolling up, you already know what time it is. From a value standpoint, the Mustang Dark Horse hits hard. You're getting serious performance, premium components, and a legit enthusiast-focused package without venturing into supercar pricing. In today's market, where everything feels overpriced and underwhelming, that matters. It feels like Ford actually wanted to give buyers something special, rather. than just squeezing every last dollar out of them. For people who care about driving, that's huge. The Dark Horse also nails the emotional side of car ownership. This is the kind of car you look back at when you park it. The kind of car that makes excuses for late-night drives and early morning blasts down empty roads. It reconnects you with the simple joy of driving, where sound, speed, and connection matter more than screens and driver assists. That feeling is getting rarer, and Ford deserves credit for keeping it alive. At the end of the day, the Mustang Dark Horse isn't just another Mustang variant. It's a statement. It says that American muscle still has a place, that performance doesn't have to be sterile, and that driving can still be fun, loud and a little bit wild. It's for people who want something real in a world that's starting to feel overly digital and disconnected. It's not perfect, and it doesn't try to be. It's bold, flawed, powerful, and unforgettable, which honestly makes it exactly what a Mustang should be if you're the type of driver who wants to feel the road, hear the engine, and know exactly what your car is doing at all times. The Dark Horse speaks your language. It doesn't sugarcoat the experience or hold your hand too much. It challenges you, rewards skill, and reminds you why cars like this exist in the first place. In a future that feels increasingly uncertain for performance cars, the Mustang Dark Horse feels like a defiant middle finger to mediocrity, and that's something worth celebrating.